Hi guys, welcome to our webinar. My name is Neha. Uh, this webinar is for the students who are looking forward to studying in USA. We want to discuss about the general entry requirements. We would like to discuss a little bit about scholarships, about the type of industries, type of job opportunities available in different sectors in USA, and we'll give you a brief idea about all these things. I would also like to keep this an interactive sessions. So please ask a lot of questions. Please ask whatever queries or concerns you have regarding your applications, your universities, and anything. We also have a process wherein we assist students with the end-to-end process of applications, editing, financial documents preparation, as well as the visa. So my name is Neha, and I have inserted my email ID and phone number in the link in the chat box. Please save this number. Uh, we are waiting for a couple of more students to join in, and we will start very soon. Please don't forget to ask questions in the chat box. I will try to answer them as accurately as possible. I would also like to take the question and answers round by the end of the session. Uh, we have a very brief presentation wherein we would like you to have an idea about the whole process, the universities, and the kind of courses that you can go for as well. If you require a very brief and a very proper counseling session, please do contact me. My name and email address is mentioned in the sticky notes. Hi, Roshni. We'll just take up the question and answers very soon. And probably by the end of the session, you'll have a clear idea on what is the process of taking an admission. But then, if you have a specific question to it, I would be answering that by the end of the session. All right. So let us start the presentation. So in today's presentation, I would be discussing on four major parameters for studying in USA. One is the kind of universities, kind of courses that you can go for, and the basic and the general entry requirements. Second is the universities that do accept the GRE or the GMAT without taking these admission tests. How can you get entry into these universities? Third, we would be discussing about the places wherein there is a high demand of job opportunities and what kind of industries are located in the basic and the highest sought after states in the US. And lastly, we would throw some light on the scholarship opportunities that the international students have, right? So, all right. So, whenever it comes to USA, our very first question that comes to our mind is why should we go to US, or why is it that out of every other country that international students are present, why US is the most sought after country for studying and the job opportunities and a good career goals as well. So one, USA is very universities in USA are very specific to the kind of education that they give to all of its students, whether it's domestic or international. They have one of the most technical kind of classroom studies, not only offline but it's also online. The assessment system is also very high, wherein you don't need to mug up your answers and then write an exam. These are always research based assignments, which makes it very good for further research opportunities as well. In terms of academic flexibilities, US universities offer a flexible curriculum wherein you can choose from different domains, so that you study everything and then you decide what actually you want to study. So you can choose a blend of courses, you can choose an exact courses. That is the kind of flexibility that no other country will provide to you. The job opportunities, as everyone knows that US is the land of opportunities. Whatever area you want to get a career in, whatever area you want to get a good job opportunity in, US will have that opportunity, whether it's law related, technology related, fashion related, whatever the courses you ask for it, US universities will have it. The value addition and cultural enhancement, the very particular thing about USA universities is that they all have a specific percentage set to all different cultures and all different areas in the world. They have specific number of students allocated to Asian countries, students with in the third world countries, from Africa, South Africa, Asia, from everywhere, students are coming and studying under one single classroom. So this gives you a good diversity in the classroom, and this gives you an opportunity to learn more and more cultures and be aware about all these things, right? Okay. So when it comes to the duration of the courses, this session is particularly about the master's courses. However, to give you a brief about the requirements of the master's courses, the undergraduate courses, all undergraduate courses in US are of 4 years. This is the one of the main reasons why when you are applying for a master's course, they require a 4 years of undergraduation, because that is their requirement in terms of bachelor's, right? But there are universities that do accept a 3 years of undergraduation. So typically, a master's course is of 1 to 2 years. There are certain courses which are very specific in nature, like data science programs or business analytics programs. These are 9 months, 10 months, 12 months, 15 months duration as well. The stay back period that you get after completing your course does not depend upon the duration of the course. It depends on the categorization of the course. So if the course is STEM categorized, which is either science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, then it will come under the STEM category, and the OPT period for that particular course will be 3 years, 2 plus 1 year. For rest all other courses, the OPT period remains 1 year, right? On an average, if I talk about the cost of studying, typically universities in US starts from somewhere around 10 to 12 lakh of per year annual fees, and it goes up to 35 lakhs, even 40 lakhs in some universities, right? Uh, if I talk about the living, on an average, places like Texas, Ohio, Alabama, these places are little, low on living expenses. So 6 to 8, 6 to 7 lakhs is something that you need to spend. And if I talk about the highest, places like California, places like New York, if you go and study in a university in New York City, the average living expenses can go up to 13, 14, or 15 lakhs, right? We will cover scholarship part very soon. Deadlines, one very peculiar thing about the deadlines of US universities is that they have different types of deadlines. To give you some idea about the deadlines, which is very important for US universities, there are three types of deadlines in US. One is a rolling deadline wherein the enrollment never stops. Generally, these universities might have multiple intakes. Maybe they have a September or January, as well as a summer intake, which might start in May, June, or July. Then you have a general deadline wherein there's one deadline to one particular kind of a course. So, say for example, a master's in computer science has a deadline of 15th of January. After that, they will not accept application for fall 2020. So, this is a general deadline. Then you have specific deadline, scholarship deadline. So the university will have two deadlines. One is for scholarship consideration, say it is 15th of December in majority of the highly ranked universities. And then comes the general deadline, which could be 15 Feb, 15 March, 15 30th May, whatever it is, depending upon the university and the course requirement, right? Okay, there are many universities in US which are offering courses, different type of courses, not specific to technical, not specific to law, or not specific to fashion, or any kind of engineering courses that is available without GRE exam and GMAT exam. There are many MBA universities that do not require a GMAT exam if you want to go without this course, without this exam. Sorry. So, why GRE was important is GRE is considered to be an aptitude test, which tells the university a student's quant as well as verbal aptitude, right? So, any entrance exam in India is also similar. For MBAs, you take GMAT. For MTechs, you have a GATE exam. So, this is a similar kind of an exam, which is generally required, and university, the embassy, all expects a student to have this exam. However, there is this list of universities that you can see which do not require GRE or GMAT for certain type of courses. And there are some highly ranked universities like Boston University. They don't have a mandatory requirement of GRE for their Masters in Business Analytics and Computer Information Systems program. However, this is a exam which is recommended by the university. So any student who has taken a GRE or a GMAT exam will be preferred over a student who has not taken, but that does not mean that they require it at a mandatory basis, right? Then there is George Mason University, University of North Texas, that do not require a GRE for Masters in Data Science. You have University of Oklahoma, which does not require a GRE for any of their arts or sciences program. Northeastern University, this is again a top 50 university for business as well as engineering programs. They have a master's in professional analytics course. This course does not require a GRE or a GMAT exam. However, the IELTS requirement remains 7. Right. Pace University. Now, there are these two universities, Pace and NYIT, which does not require a GRE or a GMAT. However, if your GPA is lower than 3 or 2.8, then they would expect you to have a GRE or a GMAT exam. Stevens Institute of Technology does not require GRE for many of its master's programs, technology driven programs. Programs like information systems does not require a very high GRE. It's actually not mandatory, it's a recommended GRE. DeVry University again does not require GRE for most of their PG courses. University of Pacific, it's a very popular university these days for students who wants to go for a master's in data science program, and it does not require a GRE for this program. University of New Haven, again, majority of the courses do not require a GRE. You have Northeastern Illinois, similar to New Haven, which does not require GRE. University of Bridgeport. University of Central Missouri has a master's in data science, and Wichita State does not require, again, GRE for any of its CS programs. So there are many other universities apart from this list as well, which does not require GRE. One more thing that I would like to include in this part is that there are many top ranked, top universities that do not require GRE for any of its programs. Universities like University of South Florida has this opportunity wherein students who have less GPA, or students who have no GRE exam or low IELTS result, they can still apply and get an admission to this university. These are different set of universities in which you can apply, and these are called the pathway entries. So in the pathway entry, in case you have something which is required by a university otherwise, you need to study some extra credits in order to compensate the fact that probably you have a low GRE or less GRE, or you have a low percentage, or you have a low IELTS, and they give you some extra credits that you can study and still continue in a good university. And majority of these universities are in the top 100 ranks. You have California State University, LA, which does not require GRE for its computer science program. So there are many top universities that you can still go without GRE. However, we always suggest you to at least take an attempt at GRE, even if you get a little lower marks, 280, 290, 300. These universities still accept you, and while going for visa, you can easily justify yourself that you had taken a GRE, but you applied to a university which did not require. Since you have an admit, it will be easier for you to explain this in the visa interview as well. Right. So if I talk about the different job markets that are available in US, so we have divided it into a few sections. So first and foremost, the most popular and the most required course in USA is engineering courses or the technical courses, IT related, research related, industrial, civil, biotechnology, anything which is both taught as well as research based programs. So you have universities like in New York. If I talk about, you have universities like NYIT, pays that do not require GRE. However, New York is very famous for its IT related programs. Then you have California again, which is the big hub for IT related course. Majority of the top 500 Fortune 500 companies are also located here. You have Texas. Texas again has a lot of universities in which are getting popular amongst students, especially Indian students. You have University of Texas at Dallas, Arlington. Then you have a New Jersey. Again, New Jersey is becoming a hub for students who are not able to, who wants to go towards the East Coast, but they are not able to afford the universities and the living expenses of New York. So it is located very nearby. NJIT is one very famous university which has a fantastic computer science and data science program. Then you have Illinois. Illinois again is a hub for research related courses. If you want to get into computer science research or analytics research courses, then you can apply to universities in Illinois. You have University of Illinois at Chicago. You have Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago, which are very good for the IT related programs. Then you have different areas where different courses are very popular. So you have good courses available, IT courses available in Florida, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Washington, Virginia, Georgia, etc. Right? Now, when it comes to health science, again, courses related to health science, healthcare, pharmacy, these are where there are very great areas in US that has this kind of a course. So you have California, Texas, Florida, Massachusetts, Washington, which are very popular, and they have a lot of universities that offers a health science or a healthcare or a pharmaceutical kind of courses. Then if I talk about the business, again, US is a hub for business courses. The most kind of best kind of courses are available towards the East Coast, majorly towards say New York. Then it comes to California. California is more of an IT hub, but then wherever there is an IT requirement, there will be a management requirement. So yeah, these both are the two famous places for students who wants to go for business related courses. Then again, you have Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Virginia. All these places are very, very good for the business or finance related courses. Uh, when it comes to scholarships, there are so many scholarships available for international students at the university and outside the university. Uh, Keeping in mind what is the scholarship criteria for students inside the university, the first and foremost and the most popular and the highest number of scholarships that is available is a merit based scholarship. So this merit-based scholarship is given to a student. It's an overall scholarship based on your overall profile, starting from your bachelor's, then it goes to your scores, your GRE, GMAT scores, your IELTS, TOEFL scores, your projects, your internships, your work experience, the kind of course that you are applying for. So these are the most popular and most available kind of scholarships in US. Then you have need-based scholarship. Need-based scholarship is actually not very much applicable to Indian students. This is majorly for the domestic student, but then there have been cases wherein students who are very bright merit-wise and they're not able to afford the education. US universities have shown us that they can give scholarships. I have had students specifically in undergrad level that had got 100% scholarship because they were very fantastic. They had a very fantastic profile, but then they were not able to pay off fees. So there have been cases, and if you have such kind of a profile, then you can apply for these scholarships as well. School specific individual scholarships for international students. So every university has a different department. They have an engineering department, they have a law department, they have a medical department, they have a business department. So every department has a specific amount of scholarship that is available to the international students. It can be Fulbright scholarship, it can be a dean scholarship or a department scholarship or anything like that. This is again a merit based scholarship. Country based, again, some universities have divided their scholarship funds into different parts. Say 5% of the funds is given to Indian students, 20% is given to some Asian, an overall Asian country students. So this is a country based scholarship, but again, this is a merit scholarship. Government funded scholarship, I am not sure how many of you know this, but it's central government of India, the employees of central government of India, if their children are going to study in the US, they have some very long list of criteria that if you fulfill, you also get a full scholarship. I've had students who have went on this government funded scholarship, but the only part with this scholarship is that you don't go on a F1, you go on a J1 visa. All right. So regarding the admission cycle, let me give you a very brief idea and then we can take up the question and answers. Regarding the admission cycle, there are so we have divided the whole process timelines into 10 to 12 months. This comes after you have taken the admission test. So your first and foremost, if you're planning for US, is to plan way ahead. Students who are in second year of their bachelor's or third year of their bachelor's should be starting the preparation of the entry test, SAT, GRE, GMAT, whatever they are planning to take, which takes approximately 2 to 3 months on a very minimum side to prepare and appear for the test. Once you have taken the admission test, 10 to 12 months before the intake. So if you are planning for the fall 2020 intake, then right now is the right time to apply. That means you should be done with the test, you should be done with this selecting the university, and you are preparing your documentation. So selection of the university is a very, very crucial point, not only in terms of getting admits or getting rejects, but also when it comes to your visa interview. Because this is a very basic and very general question that the visa officer asks is how many universities have you applied and what are the accepts and rejects from these universities. This is how they assess you, whether you have been honest and whether you have researched well before you have applied to particular set of universities. This is why this is the most important step. Even if you get an admission just from Harvard and you have not applied to anywhere else, that does not mean your visa is good to go. You still have to go through the interview and they will still ask you questions of why haven't you tried with, say, any other university. Okay. Prepare the application. An application material would be a transcript, GRE, GMAT, your CV, SOP, LOR, your resume. All these things are a packet for the applications. Different universities have different set of process for applications. I have already covered this in my previous webinars. But please, if you need any assistance with this part, please contact me and we would definitely like to help you. Then comes the visa. 120 days before the session start, you can apply for your visa. It is important that you apply for your visa as soon as possible so that there are no delays and you are ready with everything before you go. Okay, so I'm done with my presentation. Probably we can start the question and answers. So let me go through the questions one by one. Okay, so Aman is asking, I'm about to complete my 12th from non-medical. How can I apply for bachelor's with scholarships? So Aman, like I said, scholarships are something which is a merit-based scholarship. Giving you a brief about what are the general entry requirements. You need to take an SAT exam, which will happen probably in the January month if you have not yet booked your exam. Along with that, you need to take English proficiency exam, which is either IELTS or TOEFL. Along with this, you can start your applications. If you have not yet taken these exams, I would suggest you to kindly start your application, start your preparation, and book your date. If you have taken the exam and you're looking for some assistance, please contact me after this session. I will be able to help you. Regarding scholarships, we will help you in applying for scholarships, but generally, you're automatically considered for scholarships when you're applying to any US university. So you don't need to prepare a separate application or prepare a separate essay, but we will help you in case you're looking to something like that. All right. So Apurva is asking, I've completed masters in psychology. I want to pursue PhD. I want to know the universities without GRE or TOEFL. Like I said, Apurva, it is important that you take your GRE if in case you are applying for a medical course. TOEFL is a mandatory exam. Under no circumstances this TOEFL will be waived off if you have studied your bachelor's and master's from India. So TOEFL is something which is very mandatory. Of course, there would be universities that would not require GRE. However, it depends on what kind of universities you want to apply in. For PhD, this is a fully funded program. Universities in US, they provide you stipend as well to take care of your living while you are in US. However, I would suggest you to at least have a GRE score so that you get increase your chances. Along with a GRE or a TOEFL score, you would also require a research paper that you want to pursue a PhD on, and some research papers which are published already. At least 2 to 3 research papers that is published in either any magazine or journals or anything like that. That is very important for the PhD students. So, like I said, Apuva, without TOEFL, I'm sorry. If in case you have done your bachelor's and master's in India, getting a waiver for TOEFL is very, very unlikely. Still with GRE, we can try. However, at this stage, I would not be able to shortlist the university since I don't have an idea about your percentage and your papers and your overall profile. Please contact me, and I would be able to, help you out. I'm also available on WhatsApp on this number. You can send me a text. Priyadarshini is asking, how can I get 100% scholarship for doing PhD in economics? Priyadarshini, like I already said, PhD is a fully funded program in US. You are automatically considered for the scholarship while you are applying for a PhD. However, it is essential that you take your TOEFL way ahead, as well as if you can apply for if you can take a GRE exam, that will be very useful to you. It's very, very competitive. Any kind of PhD in US is very competitive, but then you get a full stipend, a full scholarship, and stipend to live, take care of actually your living expenses. So there's no as such involvement of money when you go there. But yes, in order to be that person, you need to have a very good overall profile. Aman is asking, how can I apply for bachelor's with scholarships? I think, Aman, I've already informed you that you're automatically considered for a scholarship when you're applying for a bachelor's course in US. But taking SAT exam as well as GRE, sorry, IELTS or TOEFL exam is very, very important. Within SAT, I would also suggest you to take a subject exam, at least 2 to 3 subject exams, depending upon what course you want to apply for. So if you are planning for a computer science bachelor's, then you take 3 more tests of physics, maths, and chemistry. So this is how your profile will become a merit profile, and this is how you will get maximum scholarship. I've had cases with wherein students have got 100% scholarship, but then they had a good SAT as well as TOEFL and IELTS. Sanjay is asking, I want to study MBA for free. I have a budget constraint. I'm sorry. For master's courses, there is no 100% scholarship in US. However, for a very minimum budget of say around 15 to 20 lakhs, I can still have help you with the process. But there is no university in US that provides an MBA course, a master's course for free. All right. Uh, all right. So, okay. So let me give you an idea about what a need-based scholarship is. So, for example, you have a very good profile. You have completed your bachelor's with a very high percentage from a very good university, and you have had good grades since 10th standard, 10th, 12th, then bachelor's. You have a good GRE score or a GMAT score. You have a good IELTS or a TOEFL score. So, this is how you will get a scholarship, a merit-based scholarship in US. Now, how we can convert it into a need-based scholarship is that uh, in US, if you can provide in on papers whether your overall your family income is less than certain amount, say 5 lakhs or 4 lakhs or 3 lakhs for that matter, but you have a very good otherwise profile, then there are students who can receive a need based scholarship. This need based scholarship can be 100%, but it is generally 100% in cases of bachelor students. For master students, generally the need based scholarship is not available. But in case you are able to prove that your overall family income is less, then there might be some chances. And this is a scholarship which is provided by very, very few universities. Not all universities will have a need based scholarship. I hope that answers your question. All right. Are there any other questions that you would like to ask? Okay. So Dheeraj has asked, what is the difference between early action and regular deadlines? Okay. So Dheeraj, you're talking about undergraduation here. So there are two different deadlines. Regular deadline is something that I've already explained it to you, wherein a university has a single deadline by which you have to apply. Otherwise, you will miss the intake. So, like for example, for fall 2020, 15 March is the deadline. An early action deadline is a deadline specifically related to the undergraduate applications through the portal. So whenever you apply through the portal, you have an option wherein you can apply for early action, wherein if you receive an admit from this university, from the university from for which you have applied for early action deadline, then you have to this university has to give you an offer on a priority basis. And there are good chances that these universities are all the top ranked universities. So if in case you get an admission from this university, there is another deadline which is an early decision deadline, wherein, and if you apply under an early decision deadline, then whatever university out of the 5 universities that you have applied through the portal, you will have to choose the university from which you get the earliest decision. But early action deadline means the university will give, admit on a priority basis to the student. All right. So, ma'am, can I get universities for bachelors without taking SATs and only TOEFL? Of course, there are many universities in US that can, give you an offer without SATs. However, it depends on what type of universities you are looking at. If you are looking at some very high ranked universities, then of course that will be little difficult. But there are good universities. In For example, Virginia Tech, it does not require a SAT. It is not a mandatory requirement. SAT SAT is not a mandatory requirement, so that is different. Yes, Dheeraj. Early action, early decision is undergraduate level deadline. For master's level, they are generally rolling scholarship deadline, and then you have rounds of deadlines for MBA courses. So it is not applicable to you as a master's student. All right. So I'll probably wait for another 1 or 2 minutes in case anyone else has a question. Other than that, I hope you had some clarity on the process as well as the requirements and the kind of opportunities that you have, that are available to you at different stages. My number is mentioned in the chat box. Kindly save this number in case you need any assistance with the further process. Please let me know. So Atul is asking, can I still get good colleges for MS if I give GRE on 6th Dan? Of course, there are many US universities that are open as late as till May, June. I've had students who got even scholarships applying in the month of March. So yes, there are many universities that are still available, but that depends on what GRE score you're planning to get. If you are planning to get a score of above 320 or 330, then I'm afraid you might miss some of the universities. But for a GRE score of up to 315, 320, there are many universities are available. I mean, will be available by that time. No, it's not very late. You still have time. But then that also depends on whether you are ready with rest of your documents. Whether you're, if you're applying for a master's in technical or business courses, whether you're ready with your SOPs, LORs, your transcripts, and everything else. But yes, by January, you still have good time to apply to majority of the universities. Please do contact me once you have taken your GRE. Probably I can help you with that. I'll give you a speedy process assistance, and you will not miss any deadlines or anything like that. But yes, would be depending upon what your GRE score is going to be. All the very best for GRE. Any other question, guys? I think uh, the session was a little useful to you, and you would have received some information that you were looking after. Okay. Can you list some universities who doesn't charge application fees? All right, yeah, there are many universities that have provided us with the waivers. Universities like NJIT, PACE, NYIT, I have universities, Arizona State University, I've New Hampshire. I mean, there are I guess 15 universities, 12, 15 universities that have application fee waiver through us. But then I would suggest you to just get in touch with me after the webinar because I am not sure what kind of universities, what kind of course you are looking forward to. But yes, there are many universities that do not charge application fees. But there's one thing that I would suggest you instead of shortlisting the universities based on the application fees, I would suggest you to shortlist the universities based on your profile first and what you want to study. So that is the right way to select a university. Whether or not you get an application fees waiver is something that should come after. I mean, that is not actually the right way to shortlist a university. Do contact me in case you need assistance with the further procedure. So last minute, if in case you have any questions, please contact me on the number mentioned below. And if you have any questions right now, please do tell me so that we can wrap up the webinar. All right. All the very best, guys. Thank you for attending the session. I hope it was worth your time, and we'll come up with a new webinar very soon. I'm sorry. Dheer is asking how much do volunteering and extracurricular matter. It matters a lot, specifically in the master's applications. However, it matters when you can actually write it in terms of your essays and SOPs. Having certifications will not matter. But yes, a US university will look at an overall profile rather than a general person who has just done his 10, 12 bachelors and now he's applying. So it's important that you have an overall profile. It always matters. Whatever extra thing that you have done to improve your profile or to enhance your profile is something that will be useful to you till the end. And in getting visa, in getting scholarship, in getting admits, everything as well. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for attending the session. We'll come up with a new session very soon. We will also have a visa session probably in the coming 1 or 2 months. Yes, of course, Dheeraj, that will help. So, Dheeraj, I would suggest you to please note down my number and email ID, and please contact me there in case you want to have a one-on-one conversation. And I would be able to give you a better, session, better counseling based on a one-to-one rather than on a public forum. All right, all the very best. Bye, guys. Thank you.